You're watching Saints Now by Chat Sports. As always, my name is Trizzy Trace Gerard. I got Loco Lopez on the ones and twos. Overreaction Monday and some injury news to discuss here on the channel early on Monday morning. The Saints lost to the Falcons yesterday. I lost some sleep, and I'm still not over it. But we have to dive into the injury updates around Alvin Kamara. This came in late last night. I put out a YouTube short giving some quick thoughts, so that's why you subscribe and turn on your noties, because even when there's news late at night, we're going to make sure you are informed. Alvin Kamara, according to Nick Underhill, suffered an MCL sprain, avoided major injury, but we're going to have to see how things progress. It could take some time. Nothing super serious, nothing threatening long term. Underhill also points out that Alvin and his team have often beat timelines before. So all things considered, good news. I mean, bad that Alvin Kamara is hurt. Bad because the Saints offense is terrible, but good news. It's not a season-ending injury. It's not something that's going to keep him out forever. It is something that will likely keep him off the field for a couple of weeks, especially considering he was dealing with an ankle injury going into this matchup. But that means that Devin Neal is going to be getting a lot of run. Obviously, you have Devin Neal as a rookie, an ultra-productive player out of Kansas. I think that he is a really fine player. And I think he provided a spark when given opportunities yesterday. But in my personal opinion, Kellen Moore was leaning way too heavily on Taysom Hill, and that was something that was used way too much. And I've been preaching that that is something that needs to slow down severely in terms of utilizing the Taysom Hill role and utilizing the goal line package. Like, it's just not working anymore. I thought Devin Neal provided a spark. He did some good things in the receiving game as well. But when it comes to the running back room in New Orleans, it's thin. It's very, very thin. Like, it's kind of actually disgusting. Devin Neal, he's your RB1 right now because Alvin Kamara is injured. You have Rodrigo Blankenship, who was a healthy scratch yesterday. He was inactive. Evan Holds on the practice squad. Going to be honest, don't know much about him. But this is what your rushing attack is right now. It's Devin Neal and Rodrigo Blankenship. And the Saints offense is very, very bad. There isn't an explosive element to that side of the football whatsoever. There is nothing about that part of the team that is inspiring. I'm going to be totally honest. And the fact that Alvin Kamara is going to be probably missing some time, and he's dealing with this injury, he was kind of one of more explosive weapons, and he was also kind of one of the best options outside of Chris Olave, and, you know, this just is a big hit. But, again, Kamara will likely miss time. Overall, the update is positive. It's not going to be anything season-ending as far as we know. We should expect more updates later throughout the week and throughout the day. That's why you subscribe to the channel, because anytime there is information, we will let you know. But it happened on this play. Caden Ellis gets in there. Not going to call it a hip drop tackle. Didn't necessarily look like it wasn't one, but, I mean, the NFL doesn't even know what a hip drop tackle is, so who am I to call it one? Alvin Kamara goes out. He's ruled in the second quarter, ruled out in the second half pretty quickly. And, yeah, the update overall is positive, but all in all, I am not necessarily stoked to be missing Alvin Kamara. Type 41, though, let's show him some love. Let's rally around Alvin Kamara because we want to wish him a speedy recovery. And we want Saints fans to show him a little bit of love, a little bit of support. So get down in the comment section, send some good vibes to Alvin Kamara. And like I said earlier, when there are more updates, we will let you know. So now let's get into Overreaction Monday. Just 3 for you. Didn't have much to say. Not very jazzed about this one. First overreaction, though. It honestly feels like an underreaction. Cut Blake Grupe and sign a kicker today. Like, that just needs to happen right here, right now. And I will tell you, positive news, though. The Saints are arranging to bring in some kickers for a tryout, according to Nick Underhill. That was reported about 30, 40 minutes ago. So, looks like that is something that the Saints are actively trying to do. No roster move on Blake Grupe at the time of filming this video. If something happens, we'll let you know. Now, Blake Grupe, what he's doing in 2025, it's just unsustainable. It's unrealistic. It's not a winning thing. It's not a winning brand. There are only 32 teams. He is 38th in field goal percentage. How is he still employed? He's 25th in his long. Okay, whatever. 69 points. Nice. But that's 22nd in the league. It's disgraceful. You can't win football games doing this. And the human element is real. And, like, I've had conversations with Blake Grupe. He seems like a good dude, and he's somebody that, like, when you saw the interview that he had with media after practice, he was saying, like, I don't know what's going on. Everything is working well in practice. Everything in the pregame show and in his routines and all that, nothing's changing, and he's doing what he's been doing, and it's always worked for him. And his routine is going well when it's not game time. But then lights turn on, game starts, and this is what you get. It's not sustainable. It's not going to get you wins. I mean, he's not been accurate from 50 plus, from 40 to 49, 30 to 39. He hasn't even kicked one from 10 to 19 yards, but from 20 to 29, he's perfect. Thank God, because everywhere else, he can't hit him. It's like this guy is allergic to making field goals when it matters. And I'm tired of the excuses. I'm tired of continuing to go over and over and over with this same thing. The human side of this, I don't wish poorly against Blake Grupe, but damn it, he's not helping this team win. And I'm tired of losing frickin' games. So in terms of Blake Grupe replacements, there's a handful that we can go and shop in free agency. Charlie Smyth is an internal option on the practice squad. To be totally honest, how bad is Charlie Smyth where the New Orleans Saints are more confident in sending Blake Grupe out there on a weekly basis? Like, what's going on there? I wish I had answers. I'm good on Justin Tucker, to be totally honest. He wasn't good before everything happened, and then everything happened, and I'm totally good in bringing him in. Dustin Hopkins, Cade York, Rodrigo Blankenship. Like, I fear you're stuck. I really do fear you're stuck. And I don't want to hear the excuse of, oh, well, we just got to keep trying. We just got to keep giving him reps. We just got to keep doing things. Nah, man. He's a kicker. You have one job. It's kick the ball through the uprights. If you can't do that, get out. Now, we got to talk more overreactions here in just 1 second. But first things first, got to thank today's presenting sponsor. And that is the best daily fantasy sports app in the entire world, PrizePicks. This episode of Saints Now is brought to you by PrizePicks. It's the holiday season, the best time of the year for sports. Bowl games, basketball matchups, playoff pushes, it's all happening at once. And while you and I are out here making decisions every day, what gifts to buy, what to eat, which games to watch, there is one place where it feels good to be right, and that is PrizePicks. My favorite thing about PrizePicks is picking multiple sports in the same lineup. With basketball back, I can put Steph Curry and Patrick Mahomes in the same lineup and root for both. And we got a new feature alert. Wee woo, wee woo. PrizePicks now has early payouts. If your lineup gets off to a hot start, you may now have the option to cash out those winnings before the game even finishes. In case you guys want an inspiration for tonight's Monday Night Football matchup, George Kittle, find the end zone, your boy is making some money. Tet McMillan, I'm going to take the less on his receiving yards. I actually think that the 49ers should do well today, but I have been known to lose my prize picks before. So if you want to fade these picks, if you want to tail the picks, I don't really care what you do. Just make sure you do it on Prize Picks. Got a pretty sweet deal for you, by the way, Who Dat Nation. If you download the PrizePicks app today, use code CLNS. You'll get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks puts their users first, so all withdrawals are fast and secure. PrizePicks accepts major payment methods, making deposits into your account quick and easy this sports season. So join millions of users and sign up for America's #1 fantasy sports app today, and use that code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Shout out to PrizePicks, where it's always good to be right. Click the link in the comments and description of this video to get started today. Alrighty, overreaction number 2. This one is a severe overreaction, and I'm going to be the one who's championing a little bit more time and a little bit more patience. We all knew what this season was going to be. But yesterday was one of the first times I truly was like, what in God's green earth is Kellen Moore doing? So overreaction number 2. Saints made a mistake hiring Kellen Moore. I'm not going to lie. The offense is terrible. There's no weapons. The roster's bad. The game plan is bad. The play calling's bad. The management is bad. The situational football is bad. The awareness is bad. The execution's bad. The O-line is disgusting. Unless you have Talai Sefawag and Kelvin Banks out there and Eric McCoy, it is a total disaster. You cannot generate explosive plays. You're allergic to moving the ball forward in the red zone. This offense is terrible. It's really, really disappointing considering Kellen Moore's supposed to be an offensive guru. It feels more like he was an offensive dingus more than an offensive genius yesterday. And that feels like it's been a theme through multiple games this season. Again, I do think it's an overreaction. I think we need to give it a little bit of time. Kellen Moore will not get fired this year. He will not get fired in the offseason. But for what it's worth, this chat stat might fire you up. The Saints and Titans are the only two teams this season that have yet to score more than 26 points in a game. You can't win games when you're scoring less than 26 points. Oh, and by the way, when you did get 26 points, that was against the Giants. One of those touchdowns was a defensive touchdown. Don't forget that. By the way, you guys want to hear something crazy? You held the ball yesterday for 32 minutes and 51 seconds. That's almost 33 minutes. The Saints ran almost 80 total plays. They failed to record a gain longer than 18 yards. Let that sit in for a minute. You were unable to get a 20-yard gain. We haven't had a honest question, outside of a couple of deep passes, like random ones to Olave or Rashid Shaheed, when have we ever had a 20-yard gain this season? Like, it feels like we're allergic to doing it. It feels like we cannot create anything more than a 4 or 5 yard gain. And it's actually so infuriating. And the Saints fans, I will say, we need to pump the brakes on this fire Kellen Moore talk. And maybe you don't know what I'm talking about. Go check out Saints Twitter. Go look at the comment section on any Saints YouTube channel. There's a lot of people who are unhappy with what Kellen Moore is doing right now. He is a rookie as well. He needs a little bit of time. Don't forget how bad the roster is. They are fairly healthy, all things considered, but it is a physical sport, so you do have a handful of starters that are no longer in the mix, whether it's because they're on IR or it's because they were traded away or it's because they've been released or for whatever reason. Kellen Moore needs a little bit more time. He needs more weapons. He needs a better roster. But God bless it, this is not inspiring whatsoever. What do you think of Kellen Moore? I think he needs a little bit more time. I think he's, getting there. I think that he has a lot of work to do, but I don't think that he is a lost cause, and I want to see him to continue to grow. What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments. Overreaction number 3. I don't really think this one's too far-fetched. Taysom Hill's washed. This Taysom Hill, what people used to call a gimmick, it is starting to turn into a gimmick, if it hasn't already. I love Taysom Hill. I want to make one thing explicitly clear. But when you're 35 years old and you're coming off of a major knee injury, and that is the player that your offensive guru head coach is going to live and die by anytime they need 1 yard, like, what are we doing? You can use Taysom Hill without force-feeding him. And the New Orleans Saints yesterday force-fed him more than they needed to. And that's something that I have been very, very big on saying recently is you can still use Taysom Hill, but you cannot force-feed him. He is not the player he used to be. He is not the athlete he used to be. And that is okay. He's 35. He just came off of a major knee injury. But he's not the same player he used to be. When it comes to the Saints offense, why are we taking Tyler Shuck off the field when he got you downfield in the red zone? Why are we trying to force stuff? Why are we trying to get way too creative with stuff that isn't working? It is so infuriating. You're doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting the same result or expecting different results, but it is not changing. It used to work 100 out of 100 times. And then it started working 80% of the time. And then he suffered a knee injury. And he turned 35. And now we are lucky to get 3 or 4 yards. And for what it's worth, thank God we're getting those 3 or 4 yards. But the New Orleans Saints offense seems to be between a rock and a hard place. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. The Saints have so few weapons available, and they have such a lack of a spark on the offense that they have no choice but to turn to Taysom Hill at times. And that is not what you do when you are trying to win football games. At one point in time, yes, force feed Taysom Hill, but not anymore. I love him. I love number 7. I will never, ever, ever stop supporting him. And I will never, ever, ever argue about him not being in the Hall of Fame. He deserves to be a Hall of Famer. But they got to stop this. They got to stop force feeding him. Give him a couple of carries. Let him touch the ball a few times. Let him throw it once or twice. But he's lost his step. And if you don't agree with me, If you don't see what I'm seeing, first of all, I'm going to question how. But secondly, I will tell you, just please go and watch Taysom Hill snaps this year and Taysom Hill snaps 2 years ago. Look how drastically different it is. He has lost his step. And to be fair to number 7, I want to be fair to him because I've been ultra critical, not necessarily of Taysom Hill, but of the usage of Taysom Hill. It's not like anyone's doing any favors. Whenever it comes to Kellen Moore's play calling with him, it's been really disappointing. I'm going to be totally honest. I expected more out of a play calling genius and an offensive guru. I expected more from him with Taysom Hill. Again, he's old. I get it. The O-line, they can't block a parking spot with a cone. They can't block anything. They are terrible. And God forbid you have a couple injuries settle in. Then they go straight to shit. And that's where we're at right now. He's 35, just came off a major knee injury. He's to blame a little bit. The play calling is to blame a little bit. The O-line is to blame a little bit. Everything's to blame. There's no direct one person to point the finger at. But we have to stop doing this Taysom Hill thing every opportunity Kellen Moore wants to take it. It's time to retire the Taysom Hill goal line package on an every single chance basis. Once or twice a game, fine. Got to stop doing it 30, 40 times at this point. Like, it's just not happening. It's not happening. It's exaggeration, but it's just not working. Friendly reminder to subscribe to the channel. We're going to hop on out of here. We're going to be going live later on today here on the show, so make sure you subscribe, turn on your notifications. Thank you to everyone who tuned into our watch party yesterday. Had an absolutely awesome day. A ton of channel growth, a ton of fun participation. The game sucked, but the watch party was awesome. Y'all stay golden, and we'll see you next time.